Hey everybody, we're here to talk about Heroes of the Storm, the new Blizzard game that's just been released in its alpha stage just yesterday. In this game, you're going to find four different kinds of heroes. Four different kinds, as you see here, are going to be the assassins, the warriors, the support, and the specialists. Now, these four different kinds of heroes are going to come into play as you actually prolong your matches. The assassins are going to be more or less like Illidan, Kerrigan, Raynor, Nova, those kind of guys, right? Those are going to be your heavy hitters. Those are going to be people that can dish out a lot of damage but can't take a lot of damage in return. More or less are going to be ranged attackers, so be on guard when you see those coming around the corner. Your warriors are going to be like the ETC, the Diablo, Arthas, the Barbarian, Stitches. Those guys are going to be able to deal a lot of damage and also take a lot of damage. Those are the guys who are going to be tanking the towers, taking a lot of minions, taking the heroes as they come. So if you're going against one-on-one, stay away from the warriors. The third guys are going to be supports. Supports is like Malfurion, Tyrant, and Uther. Those are going to be your supports. So those are going to be the guys who are going to be healing you, giving you extra buffs, supporting your class. Those are the guys you're going to want to be putting either with the warriors or the assassins in order for you to get extra power and deal that damage in order for you to take down those heroes. The fourth and final kind of guys are going to be your specialists. Specialists are going to be like Glazau and Abuthur, Sergeant Hammer, and the Witch Doctor. Those are your specialists. Those are going to be the kind of guys who are going to be building up kind of buffs, bringing minions to the fights, or just giving you support from a distance. Those are going to be the guys that you're going to be wanting far away, buffing up your tunes. They're also kind of a support, but they can also give the damage once they reach those high levels. So let's talk about each and every tune, shall we? And here we have Stitches, the Terror of Darkshire. He is your warrior class who's going to be dealing a lot of damage and taking a lot of damage in return. He's got a hook in his left hand which he uses to throw at other heroes and drag them in, which he also uses slam on top of them to do heavy damage. If you see Stitches coming your way, you may want to turn around and run before he gets his hooks into you. And here we have Arthas the Lich King. Arthas is another warrior class that's going to be dealing a lot of damage in return. He uses frost type abilities. He's got his heroic abilities, which is Army of the Dead and Summon Cindergosa. When he summons his army, he can also sacrifice his ghouls in order for him to heal back up to a certain percentage of his health. Cindergosa is also a big damage feeder, so if you see him, head for the hills. And here we have the Lord of Terror, Diablo. Diablo is a fire beast warrior class. Now he's going to be dealing a lot of damage to you in return. His heroic ability Apocalypse is something you guys are going to want to look out for. So if you see that rune underneath you, get out of there. And here we have the Archangel Tyrael. Tyrael is a warrior class technically, but I'd also say that he's also a part support. He uses a lot of teleportation abilities so he can teleport towards you and deal damage. He also has abilities to put bubbles on other heroes to absorb damage and reflect it towards Tyrael. So if Tyrael is left alone for too long while you're trying to beat up somebody else, he can potentially help them as well. And here we have the Rock God, ETC. He is a musical Tauren. He uses guitar to stun other opponents. He's also got another ability called Guitar Solo, which will actually heal him for over 4 seconds. And his heroic abilities include Mosh Pit and Stage Dive. Both of them doing heavy damage, so when you see him coming, just start jamming. Here we have the Barbarian, the warrior class that does massive damage. She actually has an ability to jump towards you or pretty much get her snares into you and pull herself towards you and then start dealing huge damage. She has a heroic ability that actually allows her attack speed, movement speed, her lifesteal, silences, stuns, everything to be amplified and then just start doing massive damage. She is unplayable at the moment until you buy her, so just if you see her in the game, watch it. And here we have Muradin. Muradin is another warrior class that does a lot of stuns and knockbacks. He uses abilities such as Storm Hammer and Thunderclap to be doing the stunning and damaging. He also has a jump effect which is called Dwarf Toss. But when he starts popping Avatar, he's got an extra 2,000 health you guys are going to have to eat through, and every attack he does also stuns. He has another heroic ability called the Haymaker, which will also hit the targets. They're doing knockbacks and all that kind of stuff. So he's another warrior class you guys have to watch out for. And here we have the Queen of Blades, Kerrigan. She is an assassin that can do it all. She's got abilities that's able to pull you in towards her. She can jump at you. She can stun you. When she pops her heroic ability, she even does huge AoE damage that does that for 12 seconds. And she also has the ability to summon a minion called the Ultralisk, which will also pretty much be passively following her around and dealing damage along her side. She does a whole lot of damage, but she can't take a whole lot of damage in return, so watch out for the Kerrigan. And here we have Nova, the assassin class, which uses her big gun to using skill shots and giant shooting abilities like triple tap. Her triple tap is something to look out for. Her ability allows to shoot 3 massive damaging shots at you and pretty much do all of your damage in one hit. She also has the ability to summon a minion called the Hollow Decoy, and she can use that to come in and pretty much kill you with it. Good luck. And here we have Wildhammer Falstad. Pretty much he's one of those assassins that does double damage. So when he throws his hammer, it does damage while coming at you, and it also comes back and does 25% less damage as it comes back. He's also one of those pretty much one of those assassins that allows him to mount up and get away quickly using his griffin. He has a heroic ability that allows to do huge AoE damage. It's called Shock and Awe, so look out. The Demon Hunter is pretty much just like Diablo 3. Her class is pretty much based on that character. She does a lot of AoE damaging attacks. She also has a skill shot, but she does a lot of AoE, so her attacks pretty much leech off of other attacks. And then her heroic abilities are like Rain of Vengeance and Strafe, but Strafe isn't really much of an attack, mostly of getting away of major attacks. But her Rain of Vengeance is something you're going to have to look out for because it does 2 waves of Shadow Beasts that do huge damage. Here we have Illidan. Illidan is an OP assassin. His heroic ability has something called Metamorphosis, which will actually transform him into a demon. And as he comes and hits down onto the earth, will actually apply his Mark of Azzinoth to everybody in the area of effect. For every person he hits, also gains more health, and he gets a 30% attack speed buff that lasts 18 seconds. So if you're going to be popping Metamorphosis, you better be in a heavy duty hitting area and just hit everybody in that area. People that actually have the Mark of Azzinoth put on will also take an extra 125% more damage. So watch out for Illidan. Commander Raynor is one of those assassins that can actually deal a lot of damage in a small period of time. Raynor actually has the ability to knock back certain targets, but his heroic ability, Hyperion, is a force to be reckoned with. They can attack towers, minions, heroes, pretty much anything that's in its wake, and it does huge amount of damage, and you just see its echo on the ground as it slowly moves it towards you. So when you see Hyperion, start heading for the hills. Zeratul is one of those weird classes that I've seen so far. He does have a hard-hitting cleave attack that does huge damage, but he also has a lot of slowing abilities, and he can also blink. One of his weird heroic abilities would have to be his Shadow Assault. He gains attack speed, more lifesteal, and he's able to charge minions. And then he's got Void Prison, which traps a target for 5 seconds. That works on heroes, minions, structures. But the thing is, they become invulnerable, so that you won't be able to attack them for any damage. But it'd be a good way to get a getaway tactic. Outlaw Tychus is one of those guys who's just got everything packing. This guy's got a minigun, this guy's got missiles, this guy's even got a nuclear bomb strapped to him somewhere. His nuclear bomb is kind of like an AoE, which will actually call a nuclear bomb to come down and do massive damage. He also has a heroic ability which will actually allow him to command Odin and then take control of the giant machine and do massive damage to the area and buildings and everything. He also gains a couple of extra abilities that uses missiles and annihilate to devastate large damage to the area. So if you see Tychus coming, oh, there's a wave of destruction coming your way. Uther the Lightbringer is a paladin that does a lot of supporting for other heroes. He does a lot of healing and immunity to other heroes. He has the ability to give them a divine shield, which will make them invulnerable and increase their movement speed. He also has another heroic ability which will deal damage and stun nearby enemies for 1.5 seconds, allowing the other assassins or warriors to do their jobs. And Malfurion is another support class that does a lot of healing. He is the druid class that does a lot of regrowths, Moonfire to reveal other heroes if they're just out of range. He can Tangling Roots them just so that they can't get anywhere. His heroic abilities will include Tranquility and Twilight Dream. Tranquility will heal everybody around him, where Twilight Dream will do a short delay and do massive damage to the area, but also silence every hero that's in the area. Tassadar is one of those support classes that will actually be doing mostly absorptions and blocking of paths. He has a heroic ability that's called Force Wall, will actually summon a wall in front of you, pretty much making you that you're unable to pass through it. He's also got Time Warp, which will deal some damage and slow other attacks and movement speeds of other heroes. He's got Phase Shift, which allows you to pretty much become invulnerable to attacks and invisible to other minions for a couple of seconds. High Priest Tyrande is one of your support classes that you will see that's going to be doing heals. She also has the ability to grant visuals of the area of the map using her sentinels. She also has a couple of AoEs, and she also has something called Shadow Walk, which will actually cloak all of your heroes around you for roughly about 8 seconds. And also grants 30% movement speed, and she also has a Starfall that does damage, but it's mostly used for slowing other opponents so that you can either get away or catch up. The Witch Doctor is a force to be reckoned with. This guy can summon anything from anywhere. He can use your corpse to summon spiders. He can make a zombie wall. This guy's got plagues of toads. This guy can even summon a giant gargantuan beast to come and beat down on your butt. He's also got some ravenous spirits that can come and attack for 8 seconds. The Witch Doctor is just pretty much a giant minion raid just coming to get you. Ratchet Glaslow is one of those minions that you're going to have to pretty much learn how to play. Glaslow has a lot of abilities that you're going to have to charge up or place down, and hopefully they're still in the area. He's got like his turrets, which can actually be placed down and doing damage alongside of you. One of his heroic abilities, which is like the Gravel Bomb, which will pull everything into the middle and then just explode for massive damage. Then he's got his Robo Goblin, which can be used on buildings and pretty much any kind of structures and just do massive amount of damage to those. Abathur is one of those assist classes that is going to be using abilities to locate certain heroes if they're trying to cross the map. He can lay down nests, which will, if you step on them, will reveal your location for about 4 seconds. Then he can use an ability that's called Deep Tunnel, which can quickly tunnel under the map to a visible location. So if he sees you, he can pretty much just pop right up on top of you. His ultimate ability, which is his heroic ability, which is called Ultimate Evolution. That Ultimate Evolution will actually make a copy of a certain hero and then take control of it and use its abilities against you. So you can pretty much have a couple of Uthers or a couple of Illidan's or a couple of whatevers and just come after you and just start destroying whatever's coming around. He's also got spikes and stuff like that, which will actually cause big damage around the enemy areas. So just look out for him if you see Abathur in the area. And our last but not least, Sergeant Hammer. Sergeant Hammer is a massive tank that can do huge damage to most minions and buildings. He's got two different kind of modes that he can go into. He's got tank mode and siege mode. Siege mode will actually allow him to do more damage and give a larger range and do more damage to structures. His main abilities like Caliber Blast and Spider Mines, he can pretty much protect around him for those melee attack heroes, and those Caliber Blasts to try and do knockbacks to the enemies to try and keep them at bay. So he also got something called Napalm Strike, which does huge damage to anything around him. So just if you see Sergeant Hammer taking up base, you may not want to go anywhere near that guy because he's going to destroy you. And that's all the heroes for now, guys. Thanks for watching my video. I will be updating more information as Hero of the Storm starts releasing more information on more heroes. Hopefully the beta test will be coming out pretty soon, but as of right now it is just in its alpha stage. We don't know how long it'll be in that stage for, but I hope to see majority of you guys out in the games as more information becomes more available to us. Thanks for watching.